A strip beside the water. A boardwalk through wetlands. A quiet path behind housing blocks. On their own, they're small pockets of green. But what happens when you link hundreds of small green paths into one connected network? Across Singapore, 380 kilometres of park connectors run through neighbourhoods, industrial zones, and even the central business district. Most of these paths are being joined into one connected green network. The longest continuous section is 75 kilometres, the first phase of the Round Island route. It's the eastern half of a much larger loop that will eventually circle the whole island. To experience how these park connectors come together, a good place to begin is Rowers Bay. Here, the city meets the reservoir. The path follows the edge of a restored wetland. Quieter, slower. You feel the city ease off a little. People like James use these routes every week to see parts of Singapore in ways roads do not allow.
A lot of us don't really explore every single part of Singapore and know how each part is connected to the different towns. I've gone to a lot of places which I would not think of going. I actually begin to appreciate more about the natural heritage and landscapes of Singapore.
As you move further along the Round Island route, the landscape keeps changing. Heritage trees rise with age and scale. Old guardhouses trace back to a former airbase.
I actually really like the different terrain that I can experience here. I like to skate on gravel, on sand, as well as the rocky road.
For most of us, the route feels seamless. But it only feels that way because of how it was pieced together behind the scenes. Peng Tong is the architect who began designing key sections of the Round Island route more than a decade ago, linking new paths to old park connectors and finding a continuous line through very different landscapes.
It is a connectivity that counts. It's the seamless connection that makes it different.
Connecting the paths was not straightforward.
It is not possible to have 75 kilometers survey all done in a perfect manner. So we have to do a lot of site adjustment during the design and during the execution. That's a big challenge.
Each section came with a different challenge. Changing soil, shifting shorelines, hidden utilities, uncovered during construction. The team wanted paths to be at least 6 meters wide for cyclists and pedestrians to share the space safely. But sometimes they couldn't achieve that.
We go down to 4 meters, which is bare minimum, because anything below that, it can be a bit dangerous to share the route.
Where space was too narrow on one side of the road, the team built paths on both sides to keep travel safe. The final alignment is a result of hundreds of small decisions made on site, with one simple goal: a route that everyone can use.
The whole route is accessible for the universal design, and of course for safety.
Every few kilometers, there's shade, water, a place to rest. Small details that matter more the further you go. The next stretch shows what it takes to build a coastal path this close to the water.
We have to take into consideration the waterfront and make sure that we do not disturb all the natural environment.
At Changi Bay Point, footbridges rise on single steel piles, so less of the seabed is disturbed. Old seawalls were renewed to strengthen the coast. And along some parts of the shore, textured marine tiles were added. They give corals and other marine life new surfaces to return to. Small interventions, but important for a coastal park connector. For users, this stretch looks and feels different from the inland connectors. Wide views, open water, and long bridges close to the tide.
Probably the crown jewel of the PCN here is actually the Changi Bay Point. It's a very beautiful stretch of a beachfront. So I think a hidden gem which many people may not know about because it's obscured by the mangrove trees, what I call the Instagram tree. It's in the middle part of the Changi Bay Point. It stands in the middle of the sea during high tide.
When green spaces connect, people get access to places they never used to reach. And over time, with some help, nature finds its way back into these spaces too. The Round Island route is part of the broader Park Connector network. And one of the oldest connectors runs inland through Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park. Follow it south and it links back into the Round Island route.
The loops are a curated collection of park connectors to link major parks and nature sites around Singapore together.
It's hard to imagine these green corridors were once narrow strips of leftover land. Spaces too small to build on, but ideal for people to move through. Building the network is one thing. Keeping it alive takes constant care. That's where Shani and her team come in.
I always tell my friends that my job is a walk in the park.
They walk the ground daily, checking trees for decay, clearing bioswales that filter rainwater naturally, making sure the greenery stays healthy for people and wildlife.
The design of the park connectors used to be very simple and functional, where it used to be a single footpath with a single line of trees. We have naturalized a lot of the park connectors. We have introduced multi-tiered tree planting in our landscapes.
Nature on these routes does more than look good. It changes how the city feels.
A healthy habitat means that we have a greater variety of wildlife. Beautiful flowers are actually good signs that the ecosystem is healthy. Park connectors, because of the greenery that it has, can lower urban temperatures by up to 4 degrees Celsius to mitigate the urban heat island effect.
This kind of greening runs through the Park Connector network and along much of the Round Island route. Depending on where you are, the experience shifts between inland stretches and coastal links. It lets you feel different parts of the island.
We do see a lot of interesting sites and architecture. The white arches that form the exterior of Gardens by the Bay, and it's just really majestic, almost like a dinosaur skeleton. And then the Marina Barrage, it's just like an oculus whereby you can see the sky in a perfect circle.
At the southern end of the route is the Marina Barrage, a 350-meter dam that helps form Singapore's freshwater marina reservoir. From here, the network spreads towards the city. Singapore's park connectors aren't just parks. They're green infrastructure, shaped by planners, built piece by piece on changing ground, and kept alive every day by the teams who maintain them. Together with the people who use them, they form one growing network. A cooler, greener way to move across the island.